Now this one I think might particularly appeal to STEM ambassadors in the room. I heard one or two conversations around different engineering types over lunch while I was looking at this kit, and this is kind of a nice example for me to talk about, because I've said to you that these kits come with their little guidance notes, and in the front of the guidance notes it quite clearly says it should only take you about 10 minutes to read these notes. They give some ideas for using the kit. So I did my 10 minutes, and it actually reminded me of an activity I developed years ago with my teacher partner Maxine, who I was talking about this morning. So it's quite a nice opportunity to talk about that particular practical and link it to this kit. And it was investigating the efficiencies of nappies. It might be something you do already. And then we're looking at different absorbent materials. Thank you very much, Claire. That's perfect. So we're looking at different absorbent materials, some of which are supplied in the kit, most of which I don't believe are designed to be used as consumables. Some of them can be, but we might need clarity on which you can use and which you can't. I know this one, for example, can be used. I'll come back to the nappy story in just a minute. This is a smart die. What are smart dies? Well, it tells us in one of the books. There we go. It's actually a smart colour pigment based on thermochromic pigments, made up as a liquid paste compatible with any acrylic media. It is available in 4 colours plus black. So that's its normal colour. Whack it in some warm water. Talk amongst yourselves briefly. No, we don't have to. That was really hot, Claire. Straight away, you've got this colour change, okay? Yeah, well, that's cool, Phil. Something's changed colour in hot water. Think about a commercial application of that. Actually, have 30 seconds talking time on your table. Involve your engineers who are on the table if you can't come up with one, because I'm quite sure they can. 30 seconds, go.
That's not my idea for a commercial application.
That didn't remember. I won't bother. It's all right. Suggestions from tables for the wonderful colour-changing liquids.
Safety.
Yeah, do you want to elaborate a bit more on that for us?
If it goes above a certain temperature, turns from green to red.
Yeah, so if temperature is a concern in your industry, whether it's the storage of food, whether it's the storage of any combustible material potentially, anything that's heat sensitive, then you need something like that. And this kit is kind of a modern version of the sorts of kits that really you've probably got in school from your own hard endeavours over a lot of years. You've probably gathered together samples of plastics with different symbols on them, whether it's on bags or bottles or different containers, different plastic types. You've probably got samples of wood. You've probably got samples of different rocks. And they're the basics that you introduce students in Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2 to different materials that they have around them, whether they're hard or soft, whether they're spongy, whether you can change their shape. This just takes it to another level. Again, it's probably at least applicable to Key Stage 3 and 4, but there's no harm in you guys introducing it. UV beads, really cool things. If you're borrowing the microorganisms kit, you've suddenly got yourself access to a UV facility to link with the UV beads. So that's really, really nice. And you've also got photochromic fluid. So this says it's UV fluid red. You think, hang on, I know you said you were colourblind, Phil, but there is no way that's red, and I agree. But that will react with UV light and turn red. So really nice stuff. There's a whole heap of things in here. If I read you the kit contents list, or if I start it, hydrogel, expansor gel, alginate, LEDs, smart springs. Well, there were smart springs in this kit before I handled it at lunchtime. I've done something with them. and I'm damned if I know where they are, because they're quite cool. They have a reaction to temperature. So they're in the fridge. They are in the fridge.
They're in the fridge.
They're in the fridge. They are, because they react to temperature. I'd put them in warm water, they'd expanded, they were suddenly springy, and I wanted them to go back to their original state, so I put them in the fridge. Very glad I haven't lost them. There's silk and the silk cocoons, so you can do activities on natural versus man-made. And as I say, you can go back to this. Oh, we've also got, does anyone know what that is? It's shredded something. It's actually shredded banknotes. And again, it's to help kids think about the recycling process and about how shredding things will take up a lot less space. So you've got some thought-provoking things in here. Polymers, nanomaterials, heat sensitive, light sensitive. Great resource, really. Again, they've done the hard work for you. They've captured all these resources. You could spread them out on tables. They could be investigating what they could be used for. They could be thinking of applications. They could be, hopefully in some cases, not all of them, connecting them in some way and getting a light out of them, getting them to change colour, texture, whatever. And so, here are our springs. I might like another volunteer in case people think I'm fudging things up at the front here. So who's going to volunteer? It's not going to be as embarrassing as what Jill had to do, okay? So who's going to join me? Okay, can you squash those for me, sir? Or just tell me if you're having to apply a lot of pressure. Are they very springy considering they're springs?
Yeah, this one's got spring, this is tight.
Okay, fine. We're going to pop, or actually you can pop them straight in the warm water. I'm going to trust you to take that away. No, drop them right in. Take that back to your desk and we'll discuss what they're like in 5 minutes' time. Oh, do you want some forceps for picking them up with? There we go. Health and safety once again, ladies and gents, you see. And also emphasises the fact that the kit does supply handling tools as well, so that you can, and also plenty of ideas for actually the properties of these materials and how you might work with them. So just to give you a clue, it is a two-way memory spring that you have in your pot there. Immerse it in hot water, 90 degrees C, in 90 degree C water to open it up. Add weights and watch them lift as it cools. Used in sprinkler and fire dampening systems. There you go. So you can be faced with unfamiliar kits, and very quickly, with the complementary resources that come with the kits, you've got an awful lot to hang some really applied lessons on, which I think is really, really important. And it comes in its own very nice hard case. There we go.
Thank you, VC.
If I don't get funding, that's my next route. Gentleman who's got the springs, let's revisit you. You're going to come up to the front. Perfect. Thank you. Which gives me a chance to. Yes, please. So they've been in, and that was, I think, 95 degrees, that water. Have they opened up at all? Would you describe either of them as more springy than they were?
This one is definitely. Not sure about that one.
Okay.
One, obviously, big industrial units where they use big, huge copper pipes. At the end, it comes through. What they do, there's so much movement. You'll find that this is where it comes in, and when the expansion of the copper pipe expands, this is the section where it opens up. What happens is, it's got a huge ginormous spring, height of this, the length of this, and what will happen is, that takes the contraction and movement, just like you said in there, and that's exactly how it works on big industrial factories. Food and everything out where it's high temperature and it's cooling down and opening up. Big copper goes up, extracts all the time, so the pipes will stay the same. So when it's extracted, this is this section that opens up, and the pipes always stay in the same place, so they're not driving all the ceilings down.
Absolutely brilliant, thank you. We were talking about what can a STEM ambassador bring to a session. You've just revealed it perfectly. Thank you, sir. Don't lose those, Claire. I'd suggest you put them in the fridge.